What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for TheLines.com, and we got a doubleheader of Monday Night Football. Let's talk about this first one here between the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills. Guys, if you head over to the site, as you can see, you just click on the NFL, and it'll have Monday Night Football down here, so you'll get to this page where we can find and take a look at the lines and the totals and everything else that we've got going on here. As always, everything we do absolutely free, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Do appreciate your support for everything we're doing here. All right, so as we sit recording this on Monday morning, we got the Bills as 10-point favorites across the board. As you can see, 47.5 also across the board. What do we know? We got to see the Bills come out and look like absolute world beaters and really and truly just dominated the Rams. And did this affect this line? Is that what we're thinking possibly happened here? And that's what we have to decide. Is this line inflated because of what we saw in the last meeting with this Bills team? I mean, I don't think what we saw out of the Titans really is going to affect much because, listen, their performance isn't going to move this line like a absolute beat down the Bills put on the defending Super Bowl champions. And so that's what we have to decide. Is this too much? Is this too much of a move? Honestly, I don't have this side in the account quite yet. That being said, I do think that if I was looking to play this one, I would be looking to play the Titans. And I know it's just kind of a hold your nose and play type situation, right? But it's just, I think 10 in a game that could play a lot slower if the Titans play this like they want to play it, which would be obviously utilizing Derrick Henry a ton. And so it just slows things down to a grind, to a halt. And then you can think about this, and I try to put this into perspective, right? When we're looking at a 10-point spread, it's like, you know, the Bills could be up by 16 points in the fourth quarter and one little garbage touchdown score, and then things go in flux for you. So it's just something to think about here. And when we get to double digits with a team that plays like the Titans, it just, you know, your offensive possessions are going to be at least a little bit down because they're going to try to hold on the ball and hold on to possessions and slow things down. And especially this year, right, with the lack of talent at the wide receiver position that we're getting from the Titans, that also seems like at least the proper strategy in all of this as well. And so for me, if I had to play a side, which I don't think I will, I think it'd be taking the points with the Titans here. And it's really weird for me to say because the Bills looked awesome and look like that they are completely awesome here. That being said, there's also a reason I do believe that, unlike some of the games yesterday where we were looking at previewing them, we were like, hey, these offenses with these big spreads, like they got to figure some stuff out. You know, the Niners with the big spread yesterday, the Packers, the big spread yesterday, like they had some things to figure out. The Bills know who they are, know what's going on. So like it would not surprise me in the least bit for a team like the Bills to take their foot off the gas. I figured that there would be these teams that had bad performances in week one that really wanted to keep their foot on the gas and make sure that everything was moving forward in the right direction. That's not so much the case, right, with the Bills. I mean, so a big lead here could certainly see them play a little bit more conservatively and, you know, certainly tell Josh Allen, don't be running the ball and don't do any of that crazy stuff that can get you hurt because that's just, you know, that's not in our long-term plans here. So, that's another way to kind of think about this. If we look at the injury report, you can see Ed Oliver's going to be out for the Bills. So that is something for sure. If you take a look on the Titan side of things, Christian Fulton is out. Dontrell Hilliard also out for them. Kyle Phillips, who was targeted a ton, is actually questionable in this one. So something to consider there as well. From a total perspective, I think the number is correct. I don't think there's anything that we're going to be really jumping up and down about on the total. So nothing that I think that we should be looking at. It's about right. I think that the Bills put up, you know, high 20s in this game, maybe low 30s, and then the Titans with what they do. So yeah, that seems about right to me on this one. So what if we head over to the props here? And here's the thing with me, and this is more of even if they do play it super conservatively, even if they do play this thing Derrick Henry a ton and often. I will say this about Robert Woods, and the reason I do like this one. So Robert Woods was out there. He ran a route on 77% of their dropbacks. That was the highest rate on this team in week 1 by over 10%, right? So people were making a big deal of Kyle Phillips coming out of that game, but Kyle Phillips only ran a route on 64% of the dropbacks, but he got targeted on 30%. At a 30% target clip, right? So that's just not sustainable. And I think Robert Woods, who's only got a 7% target share, will actually see a big an increase on his end because he's out there running the most amount of routes, right? So what we're getting here is, I think, at least a minimally deflated number here at 40.5 on Robert Woods. And if we do think that they're going to trail in this game, and again, I think we all think that they're going to trail in this game, then Robert Woods would be a major part of the catch-up plan being out there on the field, and especially if, for whatever reason, Kyle Phillips can't go. As we just mentioned, he's questionable. Dontrell Hilliard's their pass-catching back, and he's done. Like, he's out for this game. So that's another thing to think about. So maybe we look at a Hassan Haskins as a running back who might, for pass catching duties or something like that. So that could be another prop angle we could look at here. But I'm playing the over 40.5 receiving yards on Woods. I just think that, again, he was out there for by far the most amount of routes run on Tannehill dropbacks in a game where I do expect the Titans to be trailing. Then Woods would have to be a major part of them playing catch up in this game. So do like Woods over 40.5 from a receiving standpoint. And like I said, if we do want to look at Hassan Haskins just real quick, and they haven't even updated his prop lines yet as of right now, but those will be up a little bit later at some point on Monday. If those were just super low, those might be something I would look at as well. He'll have to fill in kind of as the Dontrell Hilliard role in this offense. So maybe if it's let's say his receiving props is somewhere in the 12.5 yards or something like that, that might be something you want to look at as well. Again, if you believe that the Titans are going to be trailing in this game. Full written preview over here, guys, over on the lines. And again, as always, everything absolutely free. Should be an interesting game to see how these teams go about playing these situations. Certainly from a Bills standpoint, are the Bills just going to be the team that does keep their foot on the gas no matter what all season long? That'll be interesting to find out here as well. But just the prop bet for me in this one, again, a couple of leans, but nothing super heavy. We'll be looking a little bit later at the Vikings and Eagles, which I do have a lot of opinion on. Good luck on all your bets here in Titans Bills.